I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. A couple days ago here in Kalamazoo we had a really strong windstorm. Now fortunately we didn't lose power, but it reminded me that if I was going to have a power outage it was going to be in March. Now it's February 22nd, which means March is about 8 days away. I have two different kinds of mantles. One's just a little bit older than the other. This one has a little plastic handle on it, and this one just has two wires sticking out. I put the one with the little plastic handle on it on the other lantern. I'm going to put one with the two wires sticking out on this lantern, see what the difference is. Okay, directions say to slip the mantle up over, making sure that I have it fully engaged, and then flip one wire over the other. Now do the same thing on this side. Make sure I have the mantle set so that it goes over the outside of that collar. And just flip them up and slide it around. Make sure that it's all even. I'm going to point them both towards the back. I don't think it really much matters, but I just want to do it that way. Now I slip the globe over it. The next thing I want to do is I want to put this knob back on it with the valve closed. I want to put this disc back on it with the valve closed and that arrow pointing up. I think I'm going to trade those for another screwdriver in the rack up there. There must be one up there that I don't need, because this little one is coming in handy twice now. So it's earned a place on the rack over the bench. And that screw holds the knob on. It says open a quarter turn to left and light. So with that little plate on where it's supposed to be, Putting that brass nut back down on there. that's brass because brass doesn't rust. You really don't want to have a steel nut on the top of this thing because it'll get hot and oxidize, and then you'll never get it off of there. I've got bad hearing and I can hear air coming out of there. Means our linkages are working. And our valves are working. And we're building pressure. Well, I've got some errands to run, so I'm going to let this thing sit here with some pressure on it and just make sure everything's okay. When I come back, it should make just about the same amount of sound. Well, I got a leak down. Now the trick's going to be to find out where it's leaking. We got those two stopped, and that one's not leaking. Nothing coming out of there. I got a leak out of the cap. Nice big old bubble coming up. Well, the O-ring looks to be good. Let's see if we got a leak solved. It's not leaking out of the top, it's leaking out of the neck. That's good. It's not leaking out of the... It's leaking out of this. That's got it sealed up. No bubbles, no leaks. No leaks under the cap. Okay, we're good. Might seem like a lot of fiddling just to make sure I don't have any leaks on this. Had a friend of mine. They called me up and said that he had a leak on his gasoline lantern. And he wanted to have it running so he could go out and go ice fishing. So I told him to bring it over to the house. He came over to the house and he always just walked in because we'd been friends for a long time. He walked in and I said, well, come on down. I've got the wrenches downstairs in the basement. So he walked down the stairway and I went into the laundry room where I had the workbench to get the wrenches. And when I came out the door, he had pumped up and lit the lantern. And it was leaking. It was leaking around the connection between the tank and the burner. Flames were coming up around the outside of the lantern, and he said, "It's gonna blow." And he threw it at my feet and ran up the stairs. I picked up the lantern, turned off the valve, the fire went out, and then I walked upstairs with a lantern in my hand. He was by the back fence, which was about 100 feet from the house. And he was saying, "Are you all right?" What a buddy. You always want to check and make sure that you don't have any leaks before you light it, not after. Now I have 2 Coleman lanterns put together. They're ready to test, and that'll be a job for outside. If you guys have any questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the series, please drop a note in the comments below. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. It's been a lot of fun putting these old Coleman lanterns together. It takes me back 30 years. Haven't really fiddled with them since then. Maybe it was having the one thrown at my feet. Might have shied me away from them.
That's all, folks.